Guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Game of Cryptos. I hope you guys are all doing well. As promised, I told you guys I was going to do a video about Render, and here it is. Before we go and deep dive into everything, guys, check out this gallery. These are rendered projects from the OctaneRender, which is a byproduct of OTOY, who the CEO is Jules Urbick. These images are amazing. The graphics are insane. And this is all able to be done with the technology from OTOY and OctaneRender X, which is the application that you can download for like iOS and Mac to be able to get these types of images. And I think it's just absolutely crazy. If you guys ever have the chance, go to the OTOY.com website and just see some of the things that their technology is able to do because of GPUs, computer graphic processing units. It's absolutely amazing. So definitely go and check that out. So, as promised, let's deep dive and talk about Render. I'm going to disappear from the screen for a little bit. So Render, if you guys don't already know, it's an ERC20 token off the Ethereum network. However, it has migrated to Solana, so now it's utilizing Solana's tech, Solana's speed. And Render is a utility token of the Render network. So by having Render, it's used to pay for the animations, the motion graphics, and the VFX rendering on the Render network. So you have node operators that can use this idle GPU, the spare GPU, to creators, and they receive Render tokens for their time spent rendering. So it's all about the systems of creators, node operators, and the application of OctaneRender. So I think that's really awesome. Now, this loaning out of unused GPU, so it's loaning out unused GPU. So it's basically like the Airbnb of GPU, just like with houses. When someone's not utilizing their house, when people are away on vacation, they're gonna rent out their house, allow people to use it. That's the same thing with these GPUs. When the GPU power and the computing power needed to produce these great 2D and 3D images and render them, well, the GPUs are loaned out. The computing power is loaned out, just like an Airbnb system. So, a lot of this, what's going on with Render and the Render token, the Render network, this is basically the crypto version of NVIDIA. And NVIDIA has been putting in new all-time highs, and it's been absolutely going crazy. Now, you do see this Nosana. It partnered with Nosana. I'm gonna talk about that later, but it's really good for Render. And as I had mentioned previously, the CEO, Jules Urbick, he's the CEO of OTOY, and they have their application of OctaneRender, where it's the leader in these visual studios, the artists, animators, and designers, architects, and engineers. So through their technology, they've been able, you might have seen something like, if you guys have watched Westworld, the trailer, the intro to it, the intro to the show, that was using OctaneRender technology, which is absolutely it's awesome. And when we talk about the things that are used when it comes to Render, or with GPUs, so computer graphics processing units computer graphics processing units allow for the smooth rendering of these 2D and 3D images and animations and videos. So rendering is the final result and bringing it all together. And from this visual right here, the GPUs the idle processing, the compute power, the render token. Now this is the Apple. There's a lot of things going on with this potential, like, Apple partnership, and just the news about the I forgot, these are called, I think, the Apple Vision Pros. So this is going to require, these products in the future are going to require more GPU processing unit for these images, these videos, and things moving on with tech, with computer graphics, with movies, with video games. So Render is sitting really nice as being this quote unquote digital oil. And as I talked about earlier with this house image, is just referencing what I said earlier about it being the Airbnb of GPU, loaning out unused GPU power. So the Render token, again, digital oil. It's very, I think it's gonna be one of the most potentially groundbreaking technologies that we have. GPUs are going to be, people are going to be fighting over this. It's something that's going to be definitely not more, there's not going to be more of abundance. It's going to be something that is going to be scarce. So definitely, consider that if you're thinking about being someone that wants to invest in something like Render. If we're looking at the price action right now, it's at $370 at the time of this video. Now, Render did see a previous bull run. It reached an all-time high of about $7-8 back in November 2021, and it recently almost breached around $5 at resistance. I think that this token has a ton of potential when more adoption of it, and when more people look at it as, okay, I already invested in NVIDIA, but what's the crypto version of NVIDIA? Boom, you have Render, and Render is under this play. It's being talked about as an AI play too, so it has a lot of things going for it. And again, even though it did have a previous bull run, I still think there's a lot of room for it to go. As we've seen with other cryptos that have had previous bull runs, if it has a good use case, the next bull run can definitely be bigger for it. My play, what I preach, is go for the newer projects, but at the same time, when you have something that's as strong as something like Render in its use case, there's a lot of potential. And to be fair, this was not talked about really at all in the last bull run in 2021. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't remember anyone talking about Render. So if you ask me, it's almost as if like this is the first bull run for it in the spotlight of retail. So again, price action, who knows where this can go? The sky is the limit. I've heard projections of $100 Render, a $50 Render. Again, no one really knows, but this, considering its use case, I think it would be a potential great add into your portfolio. Now, going back to what I talked about earlier, you heard me mention Nosana. Well, the Render actually just partnered with them, and basically it's a leverage. This is making Render and the Render network stronger. Nosana, as it says, is a revolutionizing GPU cloud computing by providing companies with more accessible and affordable compute power for running AI. This makes Nosana the first decentralized computation platform powered by the Solana network. So again, we are seeing token migration to Solana, people utilizing Solana's technology. Even Nosana is utilizing this. Now, this isn't a video advocating and supporting necessarily Nosana. Again, this is a Render video, but the news just happened today about this partnership, and I'm gonna actually go to the tweet about it. And this is, it says, the RNDR is live. The DeepEnd project for AI interference. AI interference is the compute power required to run these AI programs as a opposed to just creating them. This is huge. Talks about just everything that's, the importance of GPU. This heightened demand is accelerating upgrade price pressure and is largely responsible for the global GPU shortages, which in turn, so again, I don't want to read all this word for word, but part of this tweet talks about the partnership. You have a visual, kind of funny. It's, it's showing this, render network being this giant monster just destroying NVIDIA and what it can do. It's basically showing that now render has the ability to just be an absolute powerhouse going forward, which definitely could happen. So, keep an eye out on the render network, and keep an eye out on Nosana. This again is a new one. I believe this has not had a bull run yet, so Nosana could possibly do well. But again, we're sticking to talking majority priority about render. This is a video from Jules Urbic, and I'm gonna play it. Let's listen in on him.
OTOY's been at the forefront of GPU rendering for almost a decade now. Our product OctaneRender was one of the first GPU renders to provide cinematic realism to film jobs and television. Today it's used in productions like the opening of Westworld, and it's also now a big part of video game development, especially for AR and VR. Octane is a very special GPU software. There is really no limit to the amount of compute power and render power that you can throw behind a render job with our software. Our idea is that at a certain point, scaling GPU rendering power is too difficult. Rendering locally on a network, even in the cloud, just hit a wall. It's impossible to leverage all of the GPUs in the world efficiently without some sort of decentralized system that allows that to be tracked and managed. Today, we're very proud to introduce the render token, which is a ERC20 token that's based on the Ethereum blockchain. This token will allow anyone to participate in render jobs and be rewarded with render tokens that they can cash in. Everyone creating renders and creating content through the system has authorship and chain of title established on the blockchain permanently. Our goal is not only to create a distributed peer-to-peer network.
Okay, so let me pause that. So you guys get the gist of it. I don't want to bore you guys and play the whole video. If you guys do want to check this out, go to the rendernetwork.com and you guys can see this. But as you can see, the render has a lot of utility, a lot of use case, and this video is just merely meant to kind of just give you guys that exposure to realize that render could be a very good investment for the 2024-2025 bull run. And then this is just explaining again, going over what the GPU uses with the render network. It provides near real-time rendering use using decentralized GPU processing model to meet users' increasing GPU compute needs, both for current 3D rendering tasks and for emerging AI applications. So guys, there you have it. My video about render. There's so many things going on at render. It also has a burning mechanism too, so the tokens are getting burned when people are paying these node operators for the use of the idolized GPU. There's just so much going on for render, and I really think it has a lot of potential. Full disclosure, I do own render, but again guys, I only talk about projects that I truly believe in, and trust me, I have nowhere near big a following to be able to pump something like render when I only have a couple hundred followers. So I talk about projects that I believe in, projects that either I'm invested in, or projects that I think are great tech, and projects that I think that can earn you guys good money through investments. Not financial advice, but that's just how I am. I generally want to look out for you guys as an audience, and I never want to guide you in the wrong direction. But having that said, I think if you don't have render in your portfolio, you might be doing yourself a disservice. Not financial advice. Obviously, it would have been better to get into render when it was at much lower prices. But again, if you are someone that believes in this long term, and if you see this going to $35, $40, $50, maybe even $100 at the height of a bull run, this could be a really good place to get in it. So there you guys have it. I hope you guys like this video. Let me know in the comments, what do you think about Render? Is it in your portfolio? Do you see it beating its all-time high of $8? I certainly hope so. I really hope it does. But no, I think it's great. A great tech. I think it's got a great team and leadership and development and everything going on with Apple and the Vision Pros. GPUs are going to be needed, and that need is not going to go away. And because of that, I think Render is going to do great. But okay, guys, until next time, I'll see you guys. Peace.